they've done it, they've actually successfully made great live action. So they can make great live actions outside of Japan, who'd have thought? That's quite refreshing, actually. After so many years of failed live action attempts that really didn't stick the landing, I was losing hope that we could actually get one that was worth my time. For example, Dragon Ball Evolution, Death Note, Cowboy Bebop, and don't even get me started on Avatar The Last Airbender, you know which one I mean. And with Netflix as well, so many remakes have failed in their production, the higher-ups changing so much that the heart of the original show has been cut out and fed to the beasts. But Netflix, I give it you. You actually came through with this one. The greatest live action ever, the One Piece live action, Kezza, Henshin. Now, what I said before might be a bit unfair to the other remakes and live actions. There have been other great ones, for example, the Rurouni Kenshin movie series and Pretty Girl Sailor Moon. But you have to admit, the others were terrible. Most of the other remakes have had what makes them special removed. Their joyful childlike wonder torn to bits and had it sexualized, adding edgy material and extra realism to really put the nail in the coffin, and the fans are so over it. But my recent worry for the One Piece live action has fully been removed and replaced with optimism and respect for the cast and crew of One Piece. Even though I am just a new fan of the original anime written by Oda, his storytelling and characters have really been preserved in this live action. And let's just say, I can't wait for the next season. I won't wait for the next season. They really outdid themselves. The music, the choreography, with the fights and action sequences, the sets and character designs, absolute perfection, combined with the beautiful and clever cinematography and writing. You know the meme where it's like the manga, the anime, and the live action? Well, for this show, they are all jam-packed, baby. We're eating good tonight. But let's talk about the show for now before I get too hungry. But I will only talk about episode 1 and a few other notes, or this video will be way too long. But if you want to hear my thoughts on every episode, let me know in the comments down below. In episode 1, we get this brilliant intro into the world from the narrator, overlooking the great map and going from 2D to 3D as ships come into view. Pirates from all over the sea have come to witness the execution of Gold Roger. First off, what an introduction to the world and characters. In the audience, you also see younger versions of future characters, so keep an eye out. And honestly, you don't need to know the anime or manga to enjoy it, as it explains it all so well. So sit back and just enjoy the chaos, like these people watching this execution. To be honest, you could kind of work out who's a main anime character or not by the color or the design of their own hair. Very anime, very into it. Like these characters here, main character energy. Also, the wanted posters, such an amazing addition, and yes, we see these throughout the show with each pirate introduced. Garp is sentencing him to death, and all he cares about is how itchy the cuffs are. God, he really doesn't care, does he? He declares his treasure is for those who find it, and off they scram as he is pierced with pointy sticks. And the adventure begins with a massive riot. God, this introduction made me so hyped, and the music coming in with the logo, yes! Throughout this episode, we see Luffy at sea, and what an introduction to him being played by Iñaki Godoy. And I think some of us were worried about him, but no, he starts off great, with no worry and really jumps headfirst into this role. Amazing. Though the scene isn't in the anime, it has expanded the world before the barrel in the anime, explaining his wish, his drawbacks, him becoming a pirate, and in turn we find out that he can't, in fact, swim. Also, look at the bird! We are introduced to the brutal Captain Alvida with a wanted poster with amazing fight choreography too as they swing on a rope. What an awesome shot! And then we're introduced also to Kobe. He's such a sweet boy. When meeting Luffy, Kobe and him eventually escape after this awesome fight, and he says he wants to be a marine while also discussing Luffy's powers, where we get the start of frequent flashbacks that also show us the story of how he became who he is today. And this happens every episode, with almost every character. It really helps center these characters and expand on the world around them. And just looking back at baby Luffy and Shanks made me flipping cry. We get to the island, beat up some bad guys with bad accessories, snip some shit, and finally leave the island with a heartfelt goodbye between Kobe and Luffy, which again made me cry. You will see that this is a common occurrence. And to finalize this episode, we get some late introductions. The executioner marine from before, Garp, who seems to have some vendetta against the Straw Hat Pirate. And then we see best character, Buggy the Clown, coming out from the darkness, and what a introduction to this crazy pirate captain. Gives me a lot of Joker vibes for sure. Also Nami, best girl. Straight off the bat, with a crazy first introduction, we have a stellar cast of characters. Yes, even the idiot son, as he was meant to be annoying, and he did it annoyingly well. We also get the stellar views, stellar soundtrack, stellar action, except one plastic sword, but with everything else, I'll forgive it for now. Alongside manga-style panels for those awesome stare-downs, great for fans and new viewers. And it doesn't end there, each episode following it gets better and better as more characters are introduced, more dangers are faced, and more logos are shown in the intro. Just that to me is so cool. Each episode starts with a new logo and a different music style which fits the character, which is the attention to detail is immense, and you can tell that this is a cast and crew who really understood the assignment. They are truly fans of the show and want it to come across like they actually give a damn. They actually enjoy the source material and think it's an amazing piece of cinema, not like some other fandoms who look at their source material and think it's funny. Continuing throughout the show as well are the well-placed flashbacks for all characters introduced of the Straw Hat crew. We see the reason Luffy wants to become a pirate and the significance of his straw hat, Zoro's heartbreaking tale of his friend he lost and the promise he must strive for, Usopp's again heartbreaking story of his mother's death and the reasoning for his lies, Sanji's desire for the All Blue and his respect for Chef Zeph, and Nami. Oh, Nami. Nami's story was just the perfect end to the season, really pulls us all in. We are introduced to the characters in the best way possible. You see them go through these things throughout the show, correlating to things that happen in their past. Though in the anime and manga, these scenes may not have been shown together like this show, but in the Netflix live action, it really shows the similarities, mirrors the struggles and battles they fought in the past, and shows why they are the way they are in the present day. And with that as well as the great introductions of the characters, we can really feel like we know the characters well enough to even get sucked in and feel invested, even if you haven't seen the original anime or read the manga like me. These are all pivotal moments that we are seeing that are so impactful to the story and the characters that without them, the story would feel almost empty. Something else that adds to this idea of the story would feel empty, something that most people will be surprised of if you are a fan of the original show, we see the growth and the journey of Kobe as well as the Straw Hat Pirate as he learns to become more confident and really become a pirate he could be proud of. I don't know, something about that addition to the plot is just so lovely. We also meet so many interesting and accurately acted villains, and fuck, I now have a possible fear but also love for Buggy. I'm conflicted, but honestly I sobbed through every episode, not because of Buggy, but just for every beautiful moment that was beautifully preserved from the show. I've watched back to the anime now to catch up, and I am floored by how accurately they executed these moments. The hat scene, the death of Zoro's only friend, getting the ship, Mihawk's fight, and so many more. We get to see the real raw moments. For example, Nami's scene in episode 7, blown away by them honestly. They know that these moments for the fans are so important to get right. And also just seeing the end of the season, they tied it up all so well. God, I can't stop gushing about this. I am going off track, but that's fine. The final part of the final episode is so incredibly perfect in every way. Luffy finally gets noticed and he has his own wanted poster too. And with the poster now out in the world, we see everyone's reaction to it, really showing where our characters came from and how proud they are of him and the crew. We see the barmaid from his childhood, Kaya, Zeph the chef, literally hanging his poster as Employee of the Month. We also see villains we have faced, Buggy, as well as Alvida from the first freaking episode. But most importantly, we see Shanks again. Back to the crew though, they set off with tangerines on the ship so Nami feels at home, which is just so wholesome. They add Luffy's Jolly Roger to the main to surprise Luffy and do a final send-off stating their dreams and goals for all to hear, as well as a quick flashback to their younger selves. This feels like a final part of a season, or the characters coming together as a crew finally, or the loose ends tied together finally. What else could go wrong? And with that, the final thing that could go wrong goes wrong, hinting at a future threat as we enter a dark, smoky room and Luffy's poster is burnt to a crisp. That is a perfect cliffhanger. God, there is so much more to talk about. The snails, the filmography of the show, the additions and extensions of the plot and storytelling, the fight choreography, the action panels like a manga shot, the whole Garp and toxic family situation. Chef Zeph as a whole, and also just talking about the specimen.
Oh, I do like your hair.
But But we can't. If you want me to do a future video, honestly, just let me know and I will talk about the show till I die. We were bombarded by the impressive premiering episode that will never cease to amaze me, and each episode got better and better. Except for the little dip in the Kuro episodes, but even at that, it looks beautiful, so it's fine. Netflix, you've done well, I admit it, you've done it. It honestly was amazing to see these characters, these locations, listen to the music and really get sucked into the world of One Piece. Yes, they may have adapted and expanded some points, but they really knew how to enhance it with their dedicated attention to details. I mean, if you literally have the writer Oda on call constantly, you're gonna get it correct. I don't think any anime fan was really angry about the main plot points and changes to the show, and I'm about to say it. I can now dub this the best anime live action ever! If you disagree, fight me. Again, if you think this is the best anime live action and you want me to talk about each episode or talk about other anime live actions, let me know in the comments below, because I will talk about it. No threatening me with a good time needed. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video. Kezza Henshin, matinee. Even though One Piece was so good, I still worry about the Avatar The Last Airbender Netflix series because the writers literally left the production team. At least in One Piece, Oda was part of the production team the whole way through. But Avatar The Last Airbender, the writers left. Oh god, I'll just leave that as it is. I'm really worried about that. But maybe Netflix will come through? Unsure. Anyway, bye!